Om Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharyaparyantam Vande Guru Paramparam Yadavidya Vilasena Bhuta Bhautika Srishtayaha Tam Naumi Paramatmanam Sachidananda Vigraham. Okay, so to summarize the last class in brief, okay, the Purva Paksha was very nice, okay, very nice Purva Paksha, that if there is a pot on the table, all right, let us start even a little bit more fundamentally. If what is there is a rope and you mistake it for a snake, in Vedanta you will say an anirvachaniya snake, a purely mithya snake is projected there. This is the Vedantic stand. Now he is saying Gata is there, but you are seeing absence of the Gata, you are not seeing the Gata. That is another form of Adhyasa. Either we can mistake something that is there for something else, or here you are mistaking something is for its non-existence. That is another form of Adhyasa. So, are you saying an anirvachaniya Gata, abhava, is projected there? Because then abhava will have kinchit bhava. That will become a problem. Okay. So he says that is not true, because abhava there is natural. Because in any place there is abhava of something else. Like table is not pot, pot is not a table. So the anyonya abhava already exists here, no? So what you are doing is not anirvachaniya khyati, it is called anyatha khyati. Now what is anyatha khyati? Just to make a mistake between two equally valid things. So he is saying Gata is mithya, Gata abhava is also mithya, you are mistaking one for the other, that's all. So there is no projection of any anirvachaniyam or too sensitive today, what's happened? No, this thing of any anirvachaniya, this khyati coming up there. So you have to take it as it is not anirvachaniyam, it is just anyatha khyati. That's the answer. Simple answer. What is anyatha khyati? Mistake one thing for the other. Both are present. Go to my YouTube channel, listen to the Adhyasa Bhashya where I am done with the Pancha Khyatis, 5 types of Khyatis. You know, that will clarify all this. Yes, Sat Khyati, Asat Khyati, Anirvachaniya Khyati, all that. In Sat Khyati, Asat Khyati, 2 variations. Anirvachaniya Khyati stands by itself, because there is where the confusions are coming from.
That is what we see.
Yeah.
What is my shop and see?
It doesn't matter, it's the same thing.
Here for somebody is not there.
Yeah.
That what is there, but
Yeah.
I can't see. Because of maybe the color or something.
Whatever the reason.
But there only.
Yeah.
But in the in actually shopping.
Exactly.
But they are mistaken here. But in here it is not like that.
Agreed. But we are answering the logician using the logician's logic. You are saying kinchit bhava masti, you are saying bhava masti, na abhava. All right, you got abhava, and you take it as anyatha khyati, according to your logic. According to our logic, it isn't there. You just didn't see it, that's all. You don't have to give any reason. I didn't see something. Rope is lying there, I didn't see the rope. I thought rope is not there.
So then it comes under?
It just comes under not seeing something. Simple. Why are you bothered about it?
What is anyatha khyati is there in the mind and then you see it. That is anyatha.
Mind or elsewhere or here. If it is in the mind that Anyatha Khyati will become Buddhism, If it is physical, it will become tarka. Revise karo. Adhyasa Bhashya. It's important.
पूरा तर्का रिवाइज करना
Okay. Or I'll have to do the Panchakyati is here sometime. Maybe after I finish this, I can do that if necessary, because those people who have not got the Brahma Sutra Bhashya with them, I can do that. I will revise some aspects of it.
Can I ask one question?
Yeah?
So can I say that Anantha Khyati when there is no superimposition? Because here there is no superimposition because I am not seeing it.
Exactly.
When I see the rope and when I mistake it for the snake, there is superimposition.
Correct.
But here the pot is there, but I am not seeing the pot, and therefore there is no superimposition.
Exactly.
Can I say that?
Yeah, you can see it that way. There's no superposition. Hai hi nahi hai na? You're not seeing it, that's all. But you're looking there. Yeah, I'm looking, but I'm not seeing.
So if there is a rope and I see a snake, that is anirvachya.
Huh?
If there is a rope and I project a snake, that is anirvachya.
Correct.
Anirvachya.
Yeah.
If it is in the mind and I see, then it is called what?
That is where Anyatha Khyati will come in.
Anyatha. And this
Now, Anyatha Khyati will come in when you are not superimposing. Anyatha Khyati is valid only when you are not superimposing. Yeah.
Here, in footnote, he has given like this thing, 64th page number. That example is of Japa Kusma.
Japa Guzma of a crystal.
A crystal, yeah.
Where
Crystal.
the example there is a crystal kept. And there is a hibiscus flower, Japa Kusma, kept behind it. The crystal appears red. Now, why does the crystal appear red? It is not exactly a superimposition. You can see the Japa Kusma behind, you are seeing this, but the color is reflected there. You are taking it as a red stone, means Anyatha Khyati. Because you are seeing both. In Anirvachaniya Khyati, you will not see the other thing.
You mistake one thing for the other.
When you mistake one thing for the other, there is only one unit perception, there is no second. When you see the snake, the rope is not there. When you see the rope, the snake is not there.
here there is this mixing of it.
Yeah. Because the color is there now and the color is reflected.
Just Swamiji, please explain.
One second. All this is because you all have forgotten about Khyati. Those who have listened have forgotten. Those who have, what is the racket that is happening here? Okay. This problem is happening because those who have listened to the Adhyasa Bhashya have forgotten the Khyati and others have not listened to that Khyati. So the Khyati part, I will, after this section is over, okay, before I start the 7th and 8th chapters, I will go over all the Pancha Khyatis. Okay, why Khyatis I will explain so that you will remember it well, hopefully. Okay, hopefully. I know, it was quite some time back.
Swamiji, can I just sit 10
Yeah.
seconds of class? I'll just say what we did last time is, there is a table, there is no pot on it.
Correct.
So I am doing adhyasa of the absence of the pot.
There is pot or there is no pot? If there is no pot, you can't do adhyasa of no pot, no?
And there is a pot.
And I am not seeing it. So there the Purva Pakshi is taking that as
Mithya or non?
Anirvachaniya Khyati. And then he is saying therefore Bhavam Asti. Because according to you all Adhyasa is Anirvachaniya. So we are saying that's not true. We accept Anyatha Khyati in certain areas like this. We don't accept it for Atma and Jagat. We don't accept it for Atma and Ahankara. But we accept it for things like this. Not a problem. Yeah. That way.
So their basic thing is they want to prove they don't want to accept the
They don't want to accept Mithya. See, all philosophies, all darshanas, all schools of thought that have come up, the only way they can dismiss Vedanta is by dismissing Mithya, Satyam and Mithya. And the only way you can understand Vedanta is by understanding Satyam Mithya. So the attack always will be on the Satyam Mithya. Because, not because you will use binary modes. This or this, this or this, this or this. Because when you use categorization, it is easy to limit something and dismiss it. We also use the categorization. We, in fact, many of the Bhashya arguments we see, is it like this or is it like this? Because the moment you take a categorical stand, that can be dismissed from another stand. Because it's a categorical stand. But the world is not like that. Nothing in the world is yes or no. It's like this book. It's book also, it's paper also. No? Can you classify book and paper? Not where cause effect is involved. And Brahman happens to be the cause of the whole world through Maya. Therefore, Brahman is the Vivarta Karanam, Maya is the Upadana Karanam, Parinama Karanam. So this will always be there. So that is the important thing, how you understand the whole thing. Yeah.
Also, Swamiji, can we say that for them, pure abhava is there?
Yeah.
Because they take it as padartha, whereas we say there is no abhava.
There is no abhava.
As such, the only thing is that it's all adhyasa.
Yeah.
And it's mithya.
It's not, Abhava is not Adhyasa.
No, abhava in the sense that it's either mithya or.
How will you get, okay, important. How will you look at Abhava in Vedanta?
Absent is. The on the on.
You're looking at it from the Nyaya point of view because it supports your medical diagnosis point.
Absolutely.
You're testing. Yeah.
No, the horns are not there. So
Huh?
that is above of the horns on my head, right?
So what is Abhava there? Can you say it is purely Abhava? When you say my horns don't exist,
Combination is not there.
that means what? Abhava exists depending upon Bhava, no?
To say abhava, you have to have bhava.
Exactly. That's why I quoted the Gita last time saying, Na bhavo vidyate sataha. Because you can't have pure abhava. It's important to understand that. Like we also, along with the Tarkika, talk about, that's the topic for today, 4 types of non-existence from the Vyavaharika standpoint. But remember, we are not saying abhava is there. We are only saying certain cases will not be there. That is a big difference. Even when you are dealing with these 4 types of non-existence, you can't say that we take it as the same as Tarkika. We are using similars. Whereas for them it is a bhava, for us there is no bhava for that. It's a padartha for the Tarkika. For us it is not. Yeah. Get this thing clear. Otherwise, you say, we are saying same thing as Tarka. Like how people say everything Vedanta is scientific. Same thing. Who said Vedanta is scientific? Vedanta is not scientific. So the same problem will come in. Okay. Sure.
When something is not there at all, then we say it's potential. We still will never say that it's a.
Yeah. What is not there? Is it potential?
It is somewhere else. It is not that it is not there at all.
It's not there here.
Not
So,
there here.
so to say something is not there, you will have to also classify space-time. Number 1. Number 2, to say something is not there, you should know, either you should be able to conceive of it or it should be existing elsewhere. Can you say Gagagon is there or not there? You can't conceive of it. You don't know whether such an object exists or not.
You have to seen before.
Huh?
You have to seen before.
Yeah, Purvadrashtam. But you are not, so you don't even know about it. So you can't say it is or it is not. I used to use that experience in Timbuktu. Because Timbuktu is a faraway land that doesn't exist. But then I found a place called Timbuktu, 3 hours drive from Mysore, 2 hours drive from Mysore. There is an actual place called Timbuktu. And they are putting up an environmental center and things like that. I said, Abhi, I can't say Timbuktu. We can use it only in the general sense of a place far away. You can't say it is not there. Yeah. There is actually a place. One of my friends has gone and stayed there for a few days in Nepal. Yeah. Primitive place. So, क्या करें? All environmentalists like primitive places. So there is a joke about it. What is the difference between a developer and an environmental activist? The developer wants to build a cottage in the hills now, today. The environmentalist has done it 2 years back. Now he doesn't want further development. Okay. Like someone came and told me, our generation, a kid, 20-year-old kid, our generation is going to decide the future. I said, your generation can't even decide your sexual identity. What are you going to decide the future? What are you going to decide the future? He, she, it, may, they. What are you going to decide the future? कहाँ से? Anyway, so that Khyati part, don't worry, I will clarify that. And Pancha Khyatis, I will do it. Because I have seen that many people who are attending here as well as online, they have not gone through the Adhyasa Bhashya. Okay. Or maybe I will do the whole Adhyasa Bhashya. We will take a call on that later, after you. Okay. Now he says, Sa Abhava Chaturvidaha. Similar to what the Nyaya says, he says fourfold. Fourfold is how you perceive it, okay? It's not that there are 4 types of abhavas. Okay? Prag abhava, pradvam swabhava, atyanta abhavo, anyonya bhavasyeti. Exactly like how we saw in Tarka, as far as the terminology is concerned. Prag abhava, prior non-existence, pradvam swabhava, later non-existence. Okay? Atyanta bhava, total non-existence, and anyonya bhava, mutual non-existence. Okay. Tatra, he is giving an example. Mrutpindado karane karyasya gatadehe utpatte purvam yo bhava sapraga bhava. Exactly like how the Tarkika said. In mrutpinde, in a lump of clay. In a lump of clay here. Gata utpatti prak. Before the gata has come into being, there is gata abhava in the clay. Okay? Because you are conceiving this thing. Does Vedanta fully accept this?
No.
Why?
Because if you reduce it, then the clay and the mud is the same existence. So when we go,
Potential is there. It is a potential that gata exists as a potential. So all creation is only bringing out the potential. So you don't purely accept this, totally accept it. But for functional purposes, okay, gata bhava. Pot hai kya claim hai? No, potentially. Pot is not yet made. So with the fact that it is not yet made, we will say gata bhava. Sacha bhavishyati iti pratiti vishaya. Bhavishyati iti pratiti vishaya. That's what explains this. That pot is going to come. The pot is going to come. Why have you kept that clay there? Because the pot is going to come out of it. So recognizing the potential, you will say right now it is not manifest. Right now it is not there. Because you recognize the potential. Otherwise, how can you say that? Because what all is not there in clay? Roti is not there. Okay. Pot is not there. Yes. Table is also not there. But why are you classifying it as Anyonya Bhava? Pot is not clay, pot is not table, table is not pot. Yeah, you are classifying it as Anyonya Bhava. Why are you classifying this as Praka Bhava? Because it is going to be made into a pot. The pot is potential there. This is there. So with respect to that, we will say Praka Bhava. Tatreva Gatasya Mudgara Patnanantaram Yo Bhava Sapradvamsa Bhava. Okay, now you made the pot. I took a stick and break it up. Crack. So no, only kapalas are there, pieces are there. This is called Pradvamsa Bhava. Pot was there. Now only pieces that make up the pot are there. Therefore, with respect to the pieces, you will say Pradvamsa Bhava of the pot. Because the pot was there. Yeah. Correct? Up to here clear? Now comes the tricky part. Dhamsasyapi swa adhikarna kapala nashe nashayeva. Now, praga bhava of the pot is there in those pieces. Supposing I destroy the pieces also. Huh? So, Pradvamsa Bhava will be there in that. Supposing I mix it up and make a liquid out of it. Is Pradvamsa Bhava of the Gata there? No. Gata was long gone. When I destroyed the Kapalas, when I destroyed the pieces, the Pradvamsa Bhava of the pot also went. Now you'll have to talk in terms of mutual exclusiveness. Now you'll have to talk of this liquid is not pot. From the liquid, are you going to make pot? Liquid hai abhi. How are you going to make pot out of it? Are you getting the idea? So, Pradvamsa Bhava also is an asha in this case. Though generally we say Praga Bhava is Anadi. Don't forget the old lessons. Praga Bhava is Anadi because from beginningless time that clay had pot. But before clay came into existence, Anadi is only relative there. Correct? So, Pradvamsa Bhava is unending, Anantam. Not Adi is there, but Anantam. You can't say that really speaking, because it is there only in the pieces. As long as the pieces are there, you will recognize the pot was there, is gone, therefore Pradvamsa Bhava is there. But if the pieces are also not there, what are you going to recognize? Are you getting the idea? Therefore, in the beginning we say Praga Bhava is without beginning, but as an end, it comes into being when the pot comes into being. Pradvamsa Bhava has no beginning, no ending, but as a beginning because it comes into being when the pot is destroyed. Not strictly true. The whole thing is gone. Kidhar hai abhi? Okay. I use laser and vaporize all the pieces. Abhi kya hai? I use a laser and vaporize all the pieces. Now all that is left is vapor. Not even mud is left here. Now tell me, what Pradvamsa Bhava of Gata you are seeing where? Kuch nahi hai idhar. Are you getting the idea? That's why he is saying.
How do we explain Praga Bhava like this? Why we say it's not Anadi, Praga Bhava?
It's Anadi we accept. But supposing the clay itself has not come into existence, then what will happen? Once the clay has come into existence, we can say it's Anadi, etc. Correct?
Then the Praga Bhava will
Yeah.
clay is not there.
Yeah. Hmm?
Earlier he said whether we convert it into a liquid
Hmm?
or we vaporize it. But if I convert it back to
Then, no, if you convert it, he is answering that question. He is answering that question. He says, Nacha gata manjanapattihi. Na gata manjanapattihi. He says, gata dvamsasyapi gata pratiyogittvakam dvamsasatvat. He says, all right, gata pradvamsa bhava was destroyed. If gata pradvamsa bhava is destroyed, gata should come into existence. Because something is destroying something. When the destruction is negated, the thing should be there. So, if I destroy gata dvamsa, gata prag abhava, if destroyed by destroying the pieces, should gata come into existence? No, because the whole thing is gone. It is vaporized now. Vaporized. Therefore, he says, why? Because gata dvamsasyapi gata pratiyogitva dvamsakatvad. Gata is gata abhava pratiyogi. Na? Therefore, gata abhava, the dvamsa, gata dvamsa depends upon gata abhava pratiyogi. Since it is gata dvamsa, is gata abhava pratiyogi. Are you all following this argument, those who are online? Any object is the pratiyogi of its own abhava, correct? Any object is the counter paucity of its own abhava. So, gata dhamsa, which depends upon the gata, will also be the pratiyogi, the counter positive of the gata only. So, by destroying the gata abhava, you are not going to get the gata back. Your worldly experience proves it. Those who don't have the Upanishad, etc. background, you may be struggling with this, okay? Yeah. All right. Anyata bhag abhave dhamsa gata vinashe. Okay. But now your question. Supposing you get the clay back, then what will be there? Pragabhava will be there. Because clay. Pragabhava will be there. Not pradhamsa bhava. Because clay you got. You are getting it or not getting it? You are struggling. Yeah?
The previous
yeah. See, supposing now I took the pieces, made into liquid, and by some process I got the clay back. Now, in the clay, is there gata pradvamsa abhava? Gata praga bhava. Because potential now is for the pot to come out of the clay.
Instead of liquid, you can make it powder.
Huh?
Instead of liquid, you make it powder. Then you need make it.
Yeah. Yeah, powder you can say gata pradvamsa bhava.
So basically, Pradhamsabhava is such a destruction that it is not possible to
Yeah. Correct.
get
To reclaim the pot back.
reclaim the pot.
Yeah. It is not like tearing a kurta, where you can stitch it back and say Krishna is there. It is not like that. Burning the kurta. Or making it into so many small pieces, you can't make it, put it back again. Then, kurta bhava, pradvamsa bhava is seen. Yeah.
So from this only you can make out the relativity of it.
Exactly.
It cannot be-
Whenever you discuss abhava, there is a relativity. So all this classification, etc., is to show the relativity of it. I can dismiss the whole thing. I will say, what is the difference between gata praga bhava and gata pradvamsa bhava? Abhava is abhava. In both cases, pot is not there. Na? In clay also pot is not there. Here, after it is destroyed also, it is not there. So abhava mein kya farak hai? But we are talking about relative functional viewpoints. With respect to the potential pot, we are saying it is not there. With respect to the destroyed pot, we are saying it is not there. It's a relative standpoint. Yeah. What is the difference between Gata Bhava and Pata Bhava? Both of them. Then why are you using Anyonya Bhava? To show mutual exclusivity, to show how one thing is different, distinct from the other. Can you say Anyonya Bhava because of between book and paper? Can't. But you can say Anyonya Bhava between book and pot. Why? Because they are mutually exclusive. At one standpoint. When you go to Brahman, everything disappears. Yeah. Okay. Naicha evam api yatra dhvamsadikaranam nityam tatra katam dhvamtanasha iti vachyam. He is asking a question, ekadesha question. He says, when the adhikarana is nityam, and the adhikarana is eternal, how can you say that dhvamsha can be destroyed? Because adhikarana is nityam. Where is this question coming from? The Nyaya view of the universe. All the anus, etc. are nityam. Yeah, that's why. One second, are you going forward or backward now?
No, because this Nityam and Abhava, so there is a...
One second, let me explain before the question comes. Don't jump to the question before I even I just made one statement. Remember that thing? Chandrashaka Nyaya, I started, hey, look at the tree. Which tree it is? Don't. Don't get into a discussion which tree it is. Okay, yeah. Na chaivam api atva dhamsha. Okay. Tadasham adhikaranam yadi chaitanya vyatirektam tada satya tasya nityatvam asiddham. You saying what you are saying would be true, but if what you are talking about as nityam is other than consciousness, nityatvam asiddham, it is not nityam. It's finite only. Because other than consciousness, what is nityam? It is mithya. Because there is nothing other than consciousness. Then Brahma Vyatirittasya Sarvasya Brahma Jnana Nivartayatya Vakshamanatvat. Why are you saying it? Because when Brahma Jnanam is there, you recognize everything as mithya, nothing as real. In fact, you recognize nothing as real. Only Brahman is real. Therefore, you can't say there is if the adhikarana is nityam, then the dvamsa is also nityam. You can't say that because there is no adhikaranam other than Brahman. If you are talking about Brahman, you say there is nothing other than Brahman. What dvamsa are you talking about? What dvamsa are you talking about? You can't talk about a dvamsa. Okay. Yadi cha dvamsa adhikaranam chaitanyam tada asiddhi. Then you can't establish dvamsa itself. Adhikaranam is chaitanyam. Then what are you destroying? Nothing. Arupita. Now look at the explanation. Arupita pratiyogita dvamsasya adhishtani pratiyamanasya adhishtana matratvat. So what is he saying? The atoms that you are seeing, anus that you are seeing, Dunak, Trinok, etc. that you are seeing in Tarka as nitya. That is all what? Arupitam on the consciousness, chaitanyam. Okay? Tasya dvamse. Okay? Dvamsasya adhishtane pratiyamanasya adhishtana matratvat. So, if there is an atom and that atom is destroyed, where is it destroyed?
In consciousness.
In the consciousness itself. Because unlike clay and pot, where there is some vikara on the part of the clay, here there is no vikara. Therefore, the destruction of the anus also happen in Chaitanyam alone. Therefore, all that is left is Chaitanyam. So, you are talking about pragabhava, pradvamsabhava of something that is not real, it is only adhishtan. It's only aropitam. Therefore, with respect to aropitam, you can talk about all this. With respect to reality, you can't talk about all this. Yeah. taduktam adhisthana avashopi hi nasha kalpita vastunah. Because adhishthanam is necessary, he says, nasha is only for a kalpita vastu. It's like saying, I saw a snake on the rope and I beat up that snake. Now, there is pradvamsa bhava of the snake, can you say that? The posterior, previously, only rope was there. The praga bhava of snake. Then I saw the snake on the rope. Therefore, praga bhava went. Then I beat up the snake. Now can I say pradvamsa bhava of the snake is there all on the rope? None of this is valid. Neither praga bhava nor pradvamsa bhava is valid because aine, what is there is only rope. If the snake was there, then you can talk about it. Now you are talking about a kalpita snake, an imagined snake, all these things. Similarly, the whole world is kalpitam on Brahman. Now you are talking, okay. After knowing the rope, where is pradvamsa bhava, praga bhava, etc. of the snake? Snake hi nahi hai. If you recognize the rope where the snake is, you will not even ask the question, where did the snake go? But ऐसा हो सकता है ना? It can happen, no? It can happen because the avesha of the snake in your mind is still not gone. So थोड़ा contemplate करने का है. What was there is only rope. What was there is only rope. Now you see what meditation is about, no? Yeah. That's all that is there. What is there is rope alone. Rope eva satyam. The snake is kalpitam eva. All arguments you will have to bring in to show kalpitatvam of the snake. Same thing happens in... Actually, one Gita is enough for moksha. But because all the things come up in the mind, na, abhi Vedanta Paribhasa, ye, sab, wrestle karna padta. And of course, for the sake of scholarliness, those students who have been there for some time, thoda scholarliness is good. Otherwise, it's all here only. Gita is enough. Both ho gaya.
Swamiji, when he explained it like this, then for them, though, Anu is lithium only, na? So they will not buy the argument, no?
Their problem.
Because
See, we have answered their argument from their point of view as well as from our point of view. Take what you want is the idea.
But the schools are still there, no?
Huh?
The schools are still there, no?
Schools are there. Flat Earth Society is also there, no?
No, but they are not accepting Vedanta still after our answer.
So who said every person will gain moksha in this lifetime itself? Kaschid dhiraha pashyati, isn't it? That Kaschid dhiraha. If you accept there is something like Brahman, then you have to work on it and understand it. But if you are not willing to accept right from the beginning, ठीक है, थोड़ा मार खा के आ जाओ, अगला जन्म देखेगा. That's how it will be. Just because someone accepts or don't accept. I don't accept certain things in science. Then I don't accept. I don't accept cholesterol can create heart blockages. Don't accept. Eat a couple of samosas every day. Abhi, खा लो. रोज खा लो. I mean, you don't accept it. Yeah. Acceptance and non-acceptance doesn't change realities. True. Nayayika will not accept. Even the scientists may not accept. Yeah. The socialist will definitely not accept. Dravida Kazakam in Tamil Nadu will definitely not accept. The hardcore members, the common members accept it. They'll quietly go to the temple and come. Eat the prasad inside the temple and come. Because outside they should not be seen. They'll wipe out all that vibhuti. Why am I saying that? Years ago I was in Kumbakonam with Puja Swamiji. Many years ago. So some of the Kumbakonam is a stronghold of Dravida Kasana. So they came to have a discussion with Swamiji. I said, Gadde log, theek hai, aa jao. So I have all a discussion and all that thing. At the end of it, Swamiji said, here, take some prasad and give everyone one fruit. And so they are all holding the fruit. Now they don't know what to do. Outside, other supporters are waiting. Here they have accepted what Swamiji is saying. And not only that, they have been blessed with prasada. They wanted it also. अभी बाहर कैसे जाएगा? So I told him, yeah, plastic bag है, डालो इसमें सब लेके जाओ. Don't show it as prasad. Yeah, I mean, what else? Accepting, non-accepting is not the issue. Yeah. You know Karunanidhi? There is a temple in his home. You also know about it. You know about it, yeah. It's a temple in his home and his wife does regular puja every day. Oh, thoda grace hai, that's why the son and all is surviving in politics. Some grace of the Lord, because you worship, to grace aa jayega. Yeah. Like the Rakshasas doing tapasya, he say. Okay. इति एवं शुक्ति रूप विनाशो अपि idam avichinna chaitanyameva. Therefore, even when you are seeing, the Rajatam was destroyed by understanding the Shukti. When the Shukti, the shell is also destroyed, what is it? Idam avichinna chaitanyam. Chaitanyam alone you are superimposing, that also on Chaitanyam alone, on nothing else. Okay, then he's summing up that whole argument. You have a question now? No. This is clear, na? That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Yeah. Yatra adhikarne yasya kalotrayopi abhavaha so atyanta abhava. Yatha vayoho urupaha atyanta bhava. Because one thing was left out, no? Atyanta bhava was left out. What is atyanta bhava? In which adhikarnam? That at no time that object can be there. Like color in air. Color can never be there in air. Atyanta bhava. This is called atyanta bhava. Where at no time something like that can come in. Okay? Yeah, atyanta bhava. So api vyedyadivad dvamsa pratiyogi eva. There is also dvamsa pratiyogi. Meaning the air is dvamsa pratiyogi, or dvamsa pratiyogi meaning if air is not there, where is atyanta bhava? Supposing all air is gone, then where is atyanta bhava coming in? Abhava, dvamsa pratiyogi. Now, atyanta bhava is clear, no? Total non-existence, bilkul, kabhi nahi ho sakta hai. Okay, at no time it can happen. Idam na iti pratiti vishayo anyonya bhava. Idam na gataha na pataha, pataha na gataha. Gata cannot be pata, pata cannot be gataha. In fact, functionally, this is the most useful. Because mutual exclusivity it shows, na? One is distinct from the other. This is called anyonya bhava. Okay? In the pot there is no clay. In the pot there is no cloth. In the cloth there is no pot. Don't say what will happen if I stuff cloth inside the pot. That's not. Even then in the pot there is no cloth. Why? Pot is different from cloth. Okay? We are talking about basic reality. We are not talking of placing one on the other. Table is not the pot, pot is not the table. If you put a pot on top of the table, it doesn't become table. They're still mutually exclusive. Just because one becomes adhara of the other, adhara meaning support, base, different from adhisthana. Adhisthana is the content, the swarupa. Adhara is the support, the base. Like the table can be a base for so many things. That's adhara. Adhisthana means the content of the thing, that on which the superimposition is based. Like the adhisthana of pot is clay, the adhisthana of table is wood. Therefore, between clay and wood also there is anyonya bhava. Yeah. ayameva vibhaga bedaha prataktvam tam vanchati vyavahiyate. Because of this, you understand prataktvam, distinctness, one being different from the other because of anyonya bhava, he says. Bheda atirikta pratakvado pramana bhava. Because other than this anyonya bhava, how do you say one is distinct from the other? Is there a pramana for you to show one thing is distinct from the other? Unless you recognize anyonya bhava. Let us take a funny example. A man is riding a horse. We know man and horse are different. Why? Anyonya bhava we have seen. Let us say an alien being is watching. He comes on a UFO and is watching. He doesn't know anyonya bhava between man and horse. What will he take it? It's one distinct creature. It's a very funny creature. Seems to be a very funny creature unless he sees the man getting off the horse. Now, atyandam. Anyonya bhava. Now you'll recognize there are two different things. You may still have other doubts. Which is the superior being on the earth, the man or the horse? What doubt ho sakta hai? No, it must be man because he is riding the horse, not the other way around. You have all these funny situations, okay? Yeah. Because to understand thoda creativity rehna padta hai. Then you know anyonya bhava. Now it is clear. Because pramanam for prataktvam is anyonya bhava. Otherwise, we will say one is different from the other.
Even if you see that as a one, you still be seeing that one different from the other.
Exactly. Yeah.
So there's never, you will never see.
Yeah. Again, same thing can happen, na? An alien spaceship lands up here. Okay. He's wearing a space suit, completely transparent. You can see every shred of his body. Is that skin or is it? Unless you strip it off, you won't know, na? Therefore, prataktvam will depend upon anyonya bhava. Yeah. However intimate connection is there is not the question. Anyonya bhava has to be there. Mutual exclusivity has to be there. This is not that, that is not this. Yeah. Okay. Then ayam cha anyonya abhava adhikarnasya saditve sadi yata gatapatadi. Does anyonya bhava has a beginning? Yes, because the objects have a beginning. Gatapata has a beginning. Therefore, naturally, anyonya bhava also has a beginning. On this table, only a laptop is there. The pot is not there. Can you say there is anyonya bhava between laptop and pot? No. The pot is there, can say. So, generally we say between laptop and pot because the top is conceptual. Pot is conceptual. Okay. Adhikarnasya anaditve anadihi eva. If the adhikarna is anadi, adhikarnam is anadi, then it is anadi eva. Like the difference between Brahman and Jiva. Jiva, ahankara. Here Jiva stands for ahankara. Atyanta bhava, no? Anyonya bhava, you see. When the jiva is there, you have to say anyonya bhava because you have to negate the ahankara. No? Unless the ahankara is negated, you are not going to understand Brahman. Therefore, it is negatable. It does not have same degree of reality, true. But where is the abhava of the ahankara? In the adhikarna. Huh? In Brahman, is there abhava of the jiva or of the ahankara or not there? When the ahankara is negated, where is the abhava? Therefore, even now, is the jiva there? In the ahankara. Is ahankara there in Brahman right now? I am not saying is Brahman there in Ahankara. Remember, this Vedanta is always tricky, neurophacy, not categorical. In Brahman, Jiva is not there. Only Brahman is there. और क्या कुछ नहीं है. But I am seeing a Jiva. Anyonya Bhava. Where always, whenever I confirm language, because I am making something in this thing, the laptop wants me to confirm the language I am speaking in. Okay. Anyonya Bhava is always there. Where? In Jiva you can't see. In Brahman it is there. Absence of the Jiva. Yeah.
No, I don't get it.
Where, when is the Jiva there in Brahman? Never there. Kabhi hai. Is Ahankara any time in Brahman? Because hai nahi hai, exactly. But from your experience of Ahankara, it's saying Anyonya Bhava. Actually, you should have said Atyanta Bhava. But from your, because experience of this is there, it's saying Anyonya Bhava. And then he is saying, but that Anyonya Bhava is always there, because Brahman, Jiva is never in Brahman. It's superimposed on Brahman. Therefore, there is a mutual exclusion. Only from that standpoint he is saying it, not anything else. Brahmani cha Jiva Bheda. Ulta also you can say it. When you say Jivo Brahmaeva, when Shankara said Jivo Brahmaeva na aparaha, what did he mean? That there is nothing called Jiva, what is there is only Brahman. Can you understand Jivo Brahmaeva without negating Jivatvam? Supposing Brahman is, we are defining as Satyam Jnanam Anantam, then without negating Jivatvam, can we understand Jivo Brahmaeva? Therefore, what is negated is what we call Jiva, isn't it? After negation, what is left behind is what? Satyam. Satyam Jnanam Anantam. Therefore, that Jiva, Abhava that is there in Brahman is always there, he says. From that standpoint only. From that standpoint only. Not that it is not meant to take Jiva Brahma Bheda is not supposed to be taken as Gatapata Bheda. Okay? Huh? Gatapata Bheda, Gate Pataha Nasti, Pate Gataha Nasti. That is not the same as when you are saying in Brahman there is no Ahankara. One is Kalpitam. One is Kalpitam. But Vyavahara Yogya. Because Vyavahara Yogya, you are bringing in this point here. If it is not Vyavahara Yogya like the rope snake, you wouldn't have to bring it in. You wouldn't have to bring it in. But because Vyavahara Yogitvam is there, you are bringing it here and saying that. Diduopi Vedaha Dvamsa Pratiyogi. There also Dvamsa Pratiyogitvam is there, meaning it can be negated. Avidya Nivartau Tat Paratantranam Nitya Ausham Abhava Api. Like when you negate avidya, after that where is all these things Kalpitam? Where is the Kalpitam? Once you are negated, there is nothing left behind. Everything is gone. Huh? Abheda is there, yeah, not Bheda. Therefore, understand from which standpoint what is there. To understand, this is just the technical aspect of it. In your life, to make Vedanta clear, you have to understand that everything is dependent on Brahman. The whole universe is dependent on Brahman, on me. They are in me, I am not in them. Remember? 9th chapter Gita. They are in me, I am not in them. And then he goes further to say, they are not in me also, Pashyame Yogam Aishwaryam. Where are they in me? Not there. Yeah. From Ishvara he is saying, I am not in them, they are in me. Because I am the limitless. All the manifestations based on me. Then because they are manifestations, they are not in me. Because all kalpitam, they are not in me. All that is there is one Brahman alone. One Satyam Jnanam Anantam, me alone is there. So all this is refining your thinking. Yeah. All this is weightlifting. To make you strong, mental weightlifting, to make your mind strong enough to hold this knowledge and own it up. Yeah. Because you study the classical logic, which is half this book is about classical logic. Then you learn to move on to neurophysiologic. In classical logic, A is A, B is B. A and B are independent of each other. क्या हो गया? A is B, A, B is B, one is not the other. And in neurophysiologic, A is dependent on B, B is not dependent on A. Therefore, only B is there, A is not there. Though you are experiencing both. So that's the difference in the whole perspective of things. Yeah. Clear about this?
So, Swamiji, these arguments now which we do the Bhaktis, they are all kind of based on Dvaita or what? They are taking two reality, two things as
If you are taking Sat or Asat, it's based on Dvaita. When you take Anirvachana, it's based on Advaita. 5 Khyatis, 4 of them are based on Dvaita, 1 of them is based on Advaita.
So now all these Bhaktis that we are doing, Satya,
Yeah.
that is all based on Dvaita.
Which one?
The one that we did last class also.
Anyata Khyati is based on Dvaita. Yes. Yeah. Anirvachani Khyati is not based on. Yeah. So all the Khyatis are divided into 2. Sad and Asad Khyati. Sat Khyati, Asad Khyati and Anirvachani Khyati. So under Sad and Asad, 4 of them will come in. Yeah. You will see. In detail I will do that, a little bit detail. Without going into the text and everything, I will do that so that people are clear what is Khyati, what is this, etc. Okay, because these things and points will come up in later texts also. Yeah. That's why the normal way is you study the Gita, you study the Upanishads, you study the Brahma Sutras, then you come to this. Okay. Yeah. That makes it easier, but here and there. Okay. Now I have kept my Brahma Sutras password protected. Why? Because I don't want any random person who is coming into the website to get confused by that. But all of you who are students, I will give you the password, but no sharing with someone who is not attending this class. Okay? Like Karthik is not there today, but you can give it to him because he will understand it well. And he is attending the class. Just because one class is not there is not the question. But he says, oh my friend, I want my friend to hear this, and don't share it with your friend. If I find that it's happening, I will change the password and you will be logged out. Because I don't want it to confuse, and it can confuse. So the password is simple, BS2016. BS standing for Brahma Sutras, not bullshit. Okay? BS Brahma Sutra 2016. Okay? Because 2016 was when I did it last. The latest is 2016. Huh? I am not too sure. Just check it out both. Yeah. Small. BS is small. BS is small. Yeah. Small. Yeah. So check that. But no sharing. I am specially talking about the people who have joined just a few classes back. No sharing it with someone who is not attending this class. The Calcutta group. If you are not attending the class, don't share it. Unless you have listened to the Upanishad and some Upanishads at least, you will find Brahma Sutras very difficult to follow. Okay? So don't share it with those who are not, just because they are your friends. Because, yeah, I am very clear about that. Okay? Oh, good place to stop. Next time we will see more of it.